Pause. What if the sun disappeared right now, and you wouldn't even notice for 8 minutes? Would our reality shatter instantly, plunging us into an immediate abyss of cold and darkness? It is a question that probes the very fabric of our perception, a scenario so profound that it forces us to confront the delicate threads from which our world is woven. Well, the answer, unsettling as it may be, is no. We would not know. For a brief, blissful, and terrifyingly ignorant period, life on Earth would continue utterly unchanged, bathed in the phantom light of a star that is already gone forever. This strange phenomenon is due to a fundamental truth of the universe. Nothing, not even information, can travel faster than the speed of light. The sun is approximately 93 million miles away from us, a vast cosmic distance. Light, traveling at its incredible but finite speed, takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to cross that void. This means the sunlight warming your face right now is old news. It is a snapshot of the sun as it was over 8 minutes ago. We are constantly tethered to the sun's position as it was 8 minutes in the past. It is like receiving a postcard from a traveler. By the time it arrives, the sender has already moved on. So in the first moments after our star's theoretical disappearance, we would remain suspended in a state of cosmic denial. You might continue your walk, watch the clouds drift by, or see children playing in a park, all under a sky that appears perfectly normal. The moon, which shines only by reflecting the sun's light, would still hang in the sky, a placid and unknowing mirror to a now absent source. The intricate dance of our planet would proceed without a single missed step, a ghost waltzing with a partner who has already left the ballroom. For 8 precious minutes, our world would be a stage play, continuing long after its main actor has exited. This delay is a constant, humbling reminder of our place in the universe. Pause. At the precise moment the 8 minutes and 20 seconds mark is crossed, the change would be absolute and instantaneous. There would be no gentle twilight, no gradual dimming of the sky. It would be as if a universal switch had been flipped. One moment, the world is bathed in daylight, and the next, it is plunged into a darkness more profound than any night ever experienced. The sky would become a void of perfect black, punctuated only by the cold, distant light of the stars, the planets, which would suddenly appear with a chilling clarity, no longer washed out by the sun's atmospheric glow. The psychological shock would be immediate and devastating. Imagine the collective gasp of 8 billion people. Panic would be an understatement. The familiar blue sky would be gone. The moon, our constant nocturnal companion, would also vanish, its source of illumination extinguished 8 minutes prior. Pause. While darkness would be the first and most dramatic effect, a more insidious consequence would begin to assert itself: the cold. The Earth is, in essence, a giant rock constantly being heated by the sun while radiating heat back into the cold vacuum of space. We exist in a delicate thermal equilibrium. With the sun gone, the heating part of that equation is removed entirely. Our planet would immediately begin to lose its stored warmth, bleeding thermal energy into the endless void. While the atmosphere and the oceans act as massive heat reservoirs, the cooling process would be relentless and unforgiving. Within that first hour, the change in temperature would be noticeable, but not yet catastrophic for most of the planet's surface. Think of it like a summer evening after the sun has set. The air begins to cool, and a slight chill sets in. However, this would be a chill with no promise of a morning sun to reverse it. The surface of the land, especially deserts and clear sky regions, would cool fastest. After 24 hours of absolute darkness, the world would be a profoundly different and colder place. The promise of sunrise, a rhythm that has governed life for billions of years, would be broken. There would be no dawn, no morning light to signal a new day. Only the continuation of the cold, star-dusted night. Average global surface temperature would have dropped significantly, freezing or below in many temperate regions. Deserts would become bitterly cold. Tropical zones would experience an unprecedented chill. The world cloaked in a deepening frost. The most catastrophic biological process to halt would be photosynthesis. It's the engine of nearly all life, plants converting sunlight into chemical energy. Without sunlight, that engine would seize completely. All plants would cease producing the energy they need to live. The mightiest redwood, the most humble blade of grass. Many plants might survive days or weeks on stored reserves, but their primary function would be over. Pause. 1 week after the sun's disappearance, Earth would be well on its way to becoming an ice world. Surface temperatures would plummet to around -17 degrees Celsius or 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and far colder in regions distant from the oceans. Snow and frost would cover vast swaths of the planet, even in places that had never known snowfall before. Life on the surface would largely cease to function, with most plants dead or dormant and countless animals unable to survive the relentless cold. Much colder far from the oceans, snow and frost cover vast swaths. Even in places that never saw snow, life on the surface mostly ceased. Most plants dead or dormant, countless animals perished. The oceans, our planet's vast thermal battery, would begin to change in dramatic ways. While the deep ocean could remain liquid for centuries, a thick layer of ice would form at the surface, starting at the poles and slowly spreading toward the equator. This ice would act as an insulating barrier, trapping liquid water beneath it, but also entombing much of the marine ecosystem. Ice starts at the poles and spreads toward the equator. The ice insulates the water below. It entombs the marine ecosystem. Sunlight-dependent life, such as phytoplankton, the foundation of the oceanic food web, would rapidly die off. As the oceanic food web collapses, the effects would ripple downward into the deepest layers of the sea. That collapse ripples into the deep humanity. The initial shock ends. A desperate long-term struggle begins. Normalcy is shattered. The world depends entirely on stored energy. Burning fossil fuels, fission of nuclear materials. These keep us from absolute cold. Massive migrations would follow, as people abandon the open surface in search of warmth and power. People seek warmth and power in cities. Cities with access to energy infrastructure would become lifelines, while geothermal hotspots, such as Iceland, would transform into some of the most valuable locations on Earth. The fight for resources begins. Fuel, food, heat. A stark gravitational realization would soon emerge. Without the sun's gravity, Earth would no longer remain in orbit, instead continuing forward in a straight line at roughly 67,000 miles per hour. It hurtles in a straight line at roughly 67,000 miles per hour. Our planet would become a rogue world, cast adrift into the interstellar medium, a change that would not be immediately perceptible from the surface, but would seal Earth's ultimate fate. It's not immediately perceptible on the surface. Pause. But our journey into the unknown has begun. We are a dark, freezing spaceship with a finite supply of provisions, carrying the last remnants of life from a system without a center. Humanity's mission shifts from exploration, progress, to stark survival. In the weeks, months, and years that followed, humanity would be forged into something new or extinguished entirely. The surface of the Earth would become an uninhabitable wasteland, with temperatures eventually stabilizing at a cryogenic -240 degrees Celsius, -400 degrees Fahrenheit. The atmosphere itself would freeze and fall as snow, leaving the planet exposed to the harsh radiation of deep space. Survival would only be possible deep underground, in geothermal vents on the ocean floor, or in self-sustaining habitats powered by nuclear energy. Humanity would become a species of miners and submariners, living in isolated pockets of warmth and light. Our dependence on the sun is so complete that its absence reveals a profound fragility at the core of our existence. We are creatures of light and warmth, evolved over eons to thrive in the gentle energy bath of a nearby star. Every aspect of our culture, our biology, and our psychology is tied to the rhythm of its rising and setting. The laws of physics that dictate this grim timeline, the speed of light, the principles of thermodynamics, are the same laws that made our existence possible in the first place. The 8-minute delay between the sun's disappearance and our awareness of it is a beautiful and terrifying illustration of our place in the cosmic order. We are linked to our star by an invisible thread of light and gravity, a connection that is both constant and, as we see, perilously conditional. Every sunrise is a confirmation that the connection holds, a small miracle delivered across the void of space. This journey into darkness is a stark reminder of the delicate balance that sustains us. Our lives are lived on a knife's edge, entirely reliant on a distant, fiery orb whose stability we assume but can never truly control. We are temporary passengers on a small, warm rock, hurtling through an impossibly vast and cold universe. The sun does not just give us our days, it gives us our very lives. That simple, profound fact is a truth worth reflecting upon every time we feel its warmth on our skin. If you found this exploration of our cosmic dependence compelling, the story of survival is just beginning. Watch our next video on how humanity could endure a sunless Earth.